All right, I'm going to invite Lindsay in here. Dang it. I've got to find her first. All right, I am waiting for Lindsay. Oh, here we go.
Hey.
Hi.
Okay, let me turn you up. Are you there?
Yes. Trying to figure out the green screen.
Okay, I cannot hear you. Oh, there you are.
I was trying to
All
figure
right,
out the green
perfect.
screen. Can you hear me now?
Dang it, I can't hear you. Let me try to use a different headset. Mm. Okay, let's see if this works.
Are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay, perfect. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. And I tried to use that thing that I made, but it just like wasn't working. So, whatever. So here I am. Okay.
I got it.
Yay! I'm so excited to have you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lindsay and I are both a part of the Social Click, which is Rachel Peterson's. I always call it a mastermind. I'm not really sure how you refer to it, but it's like coaching mastermind situation.
I always refer to
So
it as a coaching group.
yeah. I love it because it's like I'm connected to 100 other digital marketers. So if
Yeah.
I need access to any other information about any platform or anything, it's like
Exactly.
right
Yeah.
at my fingertips. Okay, so do you want to start by just like sharing what you do?
Yeah. So I am a marketing creative agency owner. So I deal with not only the numbers side of social media, but also the creative side. I've been a photographer for almost a decade now. So I really wanted to combine that piece into my business. So I offer
Yeah.
all the way from strategy to implementation. So it's all under one house rather than having to outsource for photo work or graphics.
That's so cool. And so you work with a lot of like product based photography. Is there something like some specific product that you love to work with or like niche that you enjoy the most?
I love clothing because I can work with models. Hi, Molly. Um,
Yay, hi
because
Molly.
that's actually where I got my start with photography is working with modeling agencies and doing test shoots. So I love clothing and accessories. I did a um, shoot for a brand last May. That was like a whole day long production for a purse company, and that was a whole bunch of fun.
That's so cool. I love that. Um, and then my name is Jen. I own a social media marketing business. We put boring businesses on TikTok, especially, but Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok with a major focus on short form video. So I decided after talking to someone else in the click that I wanted to start doing like lives with people from the click because like we mentioned they're all full of so much amazing information and in all different industries and almost all of us are on TikTok having working under Rachel. That's probably where a lot of us like found her and followed her and she encourages it so much. So I wanted to do these short little lives where we could talk about digital marketing. Lindsay is my first guest, and I'm excited because she's going to talk about content calendars, which I can't see my topic here, but you said creating, oh, an organized, there you go, creating an organized content calendar. And I really love this. We create content calendars for our clients too, so I'm excited about this conversation and some differences in what we do. Okay, first of all, I want to start with just like knowing this personally, right? I don't know about you, but like my clients' content is so organized with like a great plan, and my content is like, what am I going to do today? And that what am I going to do today is stressful if you have goals for your content, because if something comes up and you can't put something out there, then it's like feeling that time ticking. So, why should somebody create a content calendar?
Exactly, kind of the reason you mentioned you don't want to feel that scramble every day, and this helps you to really plan each day, each week with your goals in mind, especially when you sit down with your goals in front of you and your content calendar. You know, okay, I have a launch coming up in July, so I need to plan a lot of content in June for this launch, rather than you're in the last week of July and then you realize, oh shoot, I didn't plan enough for this launch, and I'm just gonna throw stuff out there. So it really helps you align with your goals um,
Yeah.
without like, yeah.
So I was like taking some notes and I definitely put exactly what you said. And then it hit me. It's also so you can offload it to someone else. Like if you have a plan and a strategy worked out, you could hire a VA to start with to start creating the graphics that you need, or um, start scheduling the content that you're already creating so that you don't have to think about it. And then even move up from there to where you're hiring an agency like mine or yours to just execute the goals that you already have set, because you already know what's coming up. Like people so often, and I'm sure that you like will have encountered this, where people think that like they just need one sector of marketing. Like I'm just going to hire a social media agency and then everything's going to be fine, or I'm just going to hire a Google agency and I'm going to focus on my SEO and everything's going to be fine. And like all of the things together is what creates an entire marketing strategy. So
Exactly. There's more to it than just social media. And depending on how you set up your content calendar, like what platform you use, what system, you can even set it up to notify the other person that takes that next step, that creates the graphic, that schedules it, to notify them, hey, it's your turn to do your part. Um,
yeah. What
yeah.
system do you use that does that?
I use Airtable.
Okay, cool.
And I've used pretty much every platform out there, from Excel, Google Sheets, um, ClickUp, Notion, but I've found Airtable. I love Excel documents, so really being able to do more with my information and formulas per se um,
Yeah. I
really
love our
helps
user table.
visualize.
I've
Yeah,
seen it. It looks great
yeah,
when it's all put together.
yes, yeah.
That's cool. Okay, so you talked about like a lunch or a strategy. So how do you think like could content calendars actually help you grow your business, and how do you think they help you like grow your business or grow your following?
Yeah, so first off, if you're just coming up with content ideas like all the time, just writing them down, and I know I send myself messages, I put it in my notebooks or my notes app on my phone, but then when it's time to sit down and actually plan, um, I use that time specifically to plan versus really wasting time throughout your day, like, oh, I just came up with this idea, let me type out a post for it, and really setting aside time to plan that so you can have more concentrated work on the things, other things you like to do, as well as other important factors. For
Yeah.
one, for how it helps you grow, it really helps you visualize your goals and see where you're going in the future in terms of your content. So if you have a launch coming up, it really helps you visualize the content you have planned ahead for it. Or if you're sharing enough information about a certain topic. Um, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to know, anybody in the comments, do you guys have a content calendar? Have you ever thought about it? What are your feelings about content calendars? I'm not somebody like, I'm not extremely organized, so content calendars feel a little bit like overkill at first, like, oh, I'm going to plan this more than once. Why am I going to spend so much time? But I definitely see the value now when I'm creating as much content as
Yeah.
I am.
And it's definitely hard to practice what you preach sometimes. So what I do is I usually plan out all my content, but I just don't have a date on it. So like I had a Airtable content calendar launch this past week. So if you need a content calendar template, that's up on my page. But I created a whole list of content ideas to promote content calendars and how to use yours um, with no exact date in mind. But I had that content prepared, so when I scheduled out content for my launch, I already had that in place.
Yeah, that's really good. Okay, so you just had like a list of content, and then did you already create it, or you just had the ideas up?
Yeah, I already created it, so I don't know with the green screen.
Yeah, let's see it.
So, for example, I have all the headlines planned out, as well as the descriptions, content pillars. So I had a lot more content planning, and like when you can visualize, um, like with color coding, what each content pillar looks like if you're sharing enough of each progress, and then I don't have it here, all of it, but I also input all my captions and then my videos, photos, attachments, and such
Okay, so
to
tell
each
us
of
a
these.
little bit about content pillars since you mentioned them.
Yeah, so I go a little bit differently than other people when it comes to like education, entertainment, inspire. Some people have basic ones like that. I try to go down more in the nitty gritty in terms of related to the services I offer. So, for example, this is a content pillars page that literally describes each of my content pillars. So, if I ever get lost on what kind of content to create for each, I have a guideline. So, for example, I offer social media strategy as well as photography. Um, so, really integrating those into all of my content pillars, as well as like content planning, marketing psychology, target customer information, um, which then allows me to go back here and visualize okay, I'm putting out a whole bunch of content about content planning this month. What about next month? I really need more product photography clients, so I'm going to put more photography um, content up. So it really helps you visualize what you have a lot of, what you don't have enough of, and to really go from there.
That's so cool. Very cool. Okay, so yeah, my question was like, what do you include in your content calendar? And you definitely went over that. I love that you are focusing on the different content pillars that you have because then you actually know that you're hitting them and how many of them that you're hitting. That is really great. So, okay, and then how do you create them? So I use Google Sheets when which is really easy. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and you saw Lindsay's content calendar and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so much. I think one of the things to keep in mind is that when you have it laid out like that for you, you can easily like so it's easier for me to have content pillars, right? So if I have like 5 things that I know that I'm talking about, then every single week I can hit on all 5 of those. And so instead of being like, what am I going to talk about for 5 days? It's like, what am I going to talk about under this specific topic? What am I going to talk about under this specific topic? And even breaking it down more. Rachel teaches a viral strategy, which is taking your 12 topics and breaking, or right, 12 main
Yeah,
topics and then having it how many under each one? It fits all into a year.
30.
Okay, yeah, so 30 under each topic. And again, it's all serving the same purpose, which is like knowing what you're going to talk about so that you're staying on topic, you're making sure that you're hitting the things that you want to be known for and the things that you're teaching and that you're sharing value. And so instead of looking at a content calendar as something that's like overwhelming or more work, it's actually going to help you feel less overwhelmed, less stress, and less work because you're kind of keeping track of everything. Another thing that I think is really great, and I'm sure that you do this, is like using it as a great way to optimize, right? Because since you already know what your goals are now and you know how you're going to try to reach those goals, you can then at the end of the month or at the end of the week look at what you've been doing, what's doing well, what that topic was under, what your call to action was. Meaning, like, were you trying to get people to sign up for your content calendar? Were you trying to get people to sign up for your launch? Were you trying to get people to just follow you? Whatever that goal is. And then being able to optimize because you have it all right there so you can make better decisions and therefore grow your following, grow your business, continue to improve your content.
Yeah.
So when you're scheduling your content, what are you scheduling content? Like you mentioned that you have it all out there, but are you scheduling it? How are you doing that? Tell me a little bit about that process.
I use Metrical for scheduling, and I have my Pinterest, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook connected. Usually when it comes to TikTok, I love the native editing apps. So if I make a video, I just save it in my drafts until I'm ready to post it. Everything else I do plan and schedule in Metrical.
I use Metrical too. But I do all of my video editing in TikTok as well. And then have you used repurpose.io?
Yes, I use that as well. So all of my TikToks go out to YouTube Shorts, Pinterest. I have it turned off for Instagram at the moment because I was having some difficulties with it. But and then I also have it saved to my Google Drive because I love repurpose.io. It takes the watermark off, and I just not having to do that manually is amazing.
Yeah, it's so much faster. Push of the button. I agree completely. Okay, so let's hear some best practices that you have when it comes to like using a content calendar, keeping it organized, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so first off, I recommend planning your yearly goals for your marketing and just for your business in general before you go into a content calendar, or you can even plan it within your content calendar. And then breaking down those goals into quarterly and monthly goals so you can visualize where everything is on your calendar and plan content around that. So check out your launch dates or any special announcements and plan like a month ahead to start teaser posting or sharing behind the scenes. And then from there, you'll plug in the rest of your content so you know what you want to be known for and really sharing your brand. Additionally, I'll go back to the calendar. Okay. Additionally, planning it out visually. So even if you do use like a Google Sheet,
We lost
did
the
not
calendar.
flip.
There we go.
So visually planning it out, even if you do use Google Sheets or something else, and really color coding, whether it's the content pillars, the platforms you're going to have it on, because visuals help people a ton to really know what you need to do, or for example, for the content pillars, what you know you have right now, and then knowing what to add later.
Is that something that you share? Like somebody could get this content calendar template from you?
Yes, I have a template in my link in my bio. This is the template version, and it's a overview document that has 14 different templates, anywhere from your target customer profile to quarterly content, email, and blogs, as well as how to use video. So it shows you not only how to use this to its fullest ability, but also how to use Airtable in general,
That's
because
amazing.
it is kind of scary to use a new system, but this definitely makes it easier.
That's awesome. Okay, so you were talking about best practices, like making sure that you're planning your goals, making sure that it's laid out for you.
Yeah, so for example, like these are my 2023 goals. So I did this first, and just outlined like what I'm going to do each one. And then after that, I plugged in my content. So I believe finish Airtable template was my January goal, hence why I had a whole bunch of content planning, content um, scheduled.
Nice. Yeah.
Another great practice to have is if you are working with a team, to have that input. So, for example, say you have a new product launch post going out, and having this type of sorry, lost my train of thought. Having the ability to tag the next team member that's going to work on a project or a post is really important, so you can minimize that communication between like sending 5 million emails about, okay, this post needs updated, this graphic needs updated, and having a system that really allows you to communicate within your content management system, leave suggestions, leave comments in, and tag the next person in line to really minimize the time spent like sending emails and overly communicating.
That's awesome. You're selling me on that. I'm just always so scared to get into another platform. Like it feels like a lot.
Yeah, that's how I was too, especially like since I did try Notion, ClickUp, Airtable, like pretty much everything, and then you have to input all that information.
Yeah.
Um,
Again.
yeah, but what I've noticed is if you customize it based on your needs, most any system will work. It just depends how systematized you want it, how hands off you want to be once you do have that information input into your content calendar.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love that. Okay, so I have some best practices that I wrote down as well. And when I started writing them down, I realized they were really related to like SMART goals because I think a big thing that's really easy to miss, and I'm guilty of this myself, but is like when you're intentionally creating content, you have to go back and see how you were doing. And so when you do that, and we see it, right? Anytime I do it with a client, like if a client has a video that experiences virality, when I recreate that video, it gets me the same results. So it's like when I used to run Facebook ads, another example, like when I first started running Facebook ads, I would like have moments where I was like, I'm a complete failure. I suck at all this. And I paid this person $500 for 30 minutes of their time to look in my ads manager because I was feeling that down about myself. And he was like, if you just look at these numbers, you can see what's doing well, and then you can just recreate like more of that. You know, it's like when you look at what you're doing, if you feel like everything you're doing is failing, you're just not looking at it close enough to see what's working so that you can continue to optimize that thing that's working. So when I was thinking about like best practices for creating content, make sure that you set yourself a time limit that you're going to go back and look at what is doing well. So
Yeah.
whether that's weekly, you can, if you're creating a lot of content on TikTok, you could look weekly at your content that is hitting. Uh, if you go under your analytics and then go to content, you can see what has been rising in the last 7 days. And that's your best indication of like what is doing well and what you should be doing more of. So setting time aside, I look at my clients' content weekly instead of daily. It's so easy to post and then be like, how's my post doing?
Yeah,
And then it just takes all your
exactly.
time.
And
So
depending on the algorithm too, like you never.
yeah. I mean, literally, we can post stuff on Thursday. I look at it on Friday. I'm like, And the next week, it's like, bam, like it
Yeah,
totally blew up. I'm like, wow, I wasn't even paying attention. So, but still setting that time, right? So having a goal, which you mentioned, like making sure that you know what the point is of posting content. We're not just posting content for no reason. And that reason could be brand awareness, but usually have some sort of good call to action, whether it's like follow me now, go get my content planning document off of the link in my bio, sign up for my lunch, come to my webinar, give me a call, like leave
Yeah.
a comment, whatever.
And planning those call to actions beforehand too is a really great idea. So when you do have that post idea, knowing what your call to action is before you create the content around it, or the caption, can really help you guide the piece of content you're sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then tracking your content. So making sure that you're going back and seeing what's working, give yourself a time limit, and then optimize it. So once you see what's doing well, do more of that until it's not working anymore. So a content calendar isn't something that you create for the entire year and then like done. Like
Yeah.
you have to actually, like, it's a really great way to get your ideas out and to be consistent and to have organization to your marketing, but it is like a living, breathing, ongoing editing,
Yeah.
consistently optimizing situation.
It works with you rather than just a marketing document that you check back maybe once a month to make
Yeah.
sure you're hitting your goals. To piggyback off the analytics and tracking what you're doing, by planning your content ahead of time, you know that whatever the outcome of your post is, it's not because you planned it last minute and it seems like a rushed video, rushed post, and it's not because you posted it at a very late time. You can truly track based on the content itself rather than putting in those what ifs of what if it was because I posted this at 11 p.m. at night because I was rushing, forgot to post.
Yeah.
It really allows you to look at the content specifically.
Mm-hmm. Such a game changer. When I first started my company and I was like, there were literally days where I was like, I have to post for 3 clients today and I don't have anything figured out yet. Like a psychopath. No, no.
Yeah.
Definitely. We schedule everything. We schedule stories on Instagram out. We literally schedule everything. And it makes it to where, like, I might not be as good at my content calendar for Keyheart Marketing, but guess who doesn't have consistent content?
Yeah.
Keyheart Marketing. But my clients consistently have content every single day, every week. We have static content, we have stories, we have reels and TikTok content going out because we plan it ahead of time and schedule it out. And it is we check our analytics and we optimize as we go. And if you follow those systems, your life is going to be so much easier. You're going to start reaching your goals.
Yeah. And the relief you feel knowing that you've already have the next 2 weeks planned is so much better than when you're laying at bed at 1 a.m, realizing, oh shoot, I don't have tomorrow's post planned out. I don't have next 2 weeks planned out.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
What do you use for scheduling, just in the platform or a service? So that's a good question. Both of us kind of use the same platforms, but for scheduling, I use Metricool, and Metricool, from what I have seen, does not lower the views on the post at all. And I use it for Facebook, Instagram. I schedule stories for Instagram in there. It's a push notification for stories. We use repurpose.io for repurposing TikTok videos onto Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I have noticed that using repurpose.io does dim the views on YouTube Shorts. So we, right now, we're manually downloading. So if you want to go to the link in my bio, I'm pretty sure I have links to both of those, and they are affiliate links, but I would love for you to check them out because Metricool is inexpensive. It's very user-friendly. It connects to so many platforms. There's a lot of, like, I've used Sprout Social. I've used some other ones that I can't even think of right now. But Metricool is the way that they work is that every brand has its own brand. And so you can have one connection to every single platform, within a brand, which is really nice. So like Lindsay said, she uses it for Pinterest. Also, I don't connect to Pinterest with it, but and then repurpose.io is an older company, but their repurposing is like super. I use it. I love them. Repurpose.io, like they were like the game changers for repurposing video, and their platform is incredible. I just really wish that there wasn't that issue with YouTube, and I'm hoping that it like fixes itself so I don't use it for YouTube anymore. But for Instagram, like views on Reels have been down anyways, and they've been annoying me. And I've tested like posting to Instagram natively using like snap.tick and using repurpose.io, and I'm not seeing any significant difference between the two of them. Like there's some videos that still hit and some that get nothing, and so I'm not spending my time manually posting for Instagram right now. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know if you've seen anything different.
Yeah, I've noticed YouTube has dropped as well. For a little bit, it did push it out normally.
Yeah, like for
But
a little
within
bit,
the,
it was
yeah,
awesome. I was like, dang, I'm getting like I mean, thousands of views. If you're not posting on YouTube Shorts, like you're totally missing out on a huge audience. But you have to post those manually. But it's still nice because, like you said, you can put it to Drive and then you can save it and you can
hmm
post it on every platform pretty easily.
yeah, even if I'm just using repurpose.io for downloading it to my Google Drive, it is worth the cost. So I don't have to go through that hassle of snaptake.io, Snap Insta, all that.
Yeah. And
To
watching
download.
ads and
Yeah,
like hoping that it downloads.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when like I was posting 2 TikToks a day. Um, and by the end of the week, that's 10. And
Yeah.
just
That's a
downloading
lot.
10 videos takes a bit of time. And then I'm out of my headspace, out of my like work set mind. So just
Hmm.
that time is gone
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
download it to Google Drive.
Hmm. Yeah, I love both of them. I definitely would recommend them 100%.
Yeah.
I also, and I'm sure you've been doing this too, Lindsay, but one of the things that we've seen, which I keep touting as like a secret social media move right now, is using the Facebook Reels. Like it's crazy the views that Facebook Reels are getting and the followers that they're getting um, from using that. So definitely, that's my secret marketing move.
Yeah.
We've been using it for our clients too.
Curly headed, if you have any questions, just let us know. Um,
Yeah, less corporate budget, doing things for myself. Yeah, definitely. We talk
yeah.
about all things marketing.
Yeah. And I'd even say, like, with all of my software combined, it's probably only about $200 a month, and I use a decent amount of
I don't know how
software tools.
much I spend a lot on repurpose.io, but I have a lot of brands connected to it. What is the starter rate of it? Do you know?
$25 a month.
That's not bad. And Metricool is really cheap. Like, I think
Yeah.
it's free if it's just one brand
I believe you can have 2 brands now
for free.
for free. Yeah. But only
Okay.
like 2 connections per brand.
Okay. I pay like less than $50 for it, and I have 15 brands connected to it. So it's really nice.
Yeah, exactly.
And it has analytics, which I love.
Yes. Yes.
Does Airtable cost?
No, it's free. Um, there's some advanced tools you can have, but I've been using it for almost 2 years and have been able to stick to the free plan. You can even invite multiple people, keep it free, and
Got
it's
it.
awesome. Yeah. That was the main reason I really stuck to it.
Very cool. So, if you're just joining us, Lindsay has an Airtable template for content creation in her bio. So be sure to check that out and follow her on TikTok. I'll be back next week at 1 p.m. Central Time live. I've got some amazing digital marketers coming with me every single week. So be sure to follow me so that I show up on your on your live streams
Yeah.
again. And that's all we have for now.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.